in the zone to be. From a yin to my yang to my yang to Z. Put a grin on my chin when you come to me. Cause I'm weird, I'm a one of a kind, and I'll bring death to the place you're about to be. Another river of blood running under my feet. Forged in the fire lit long ago. Stand next to me, you'll never stand alone. I'm last to leave, but the first to go. Lord, make me dead before you make me whole. I'll feed on the fear of the devil inside of the enemy.
I need everybody's attention. I need all the veterans to come toward the stage. Or right in here is fine. We have a guest speaker, and his name is Dr. Hua. And he's Vietnamese. And he likes to thank all the veterans of Vietnam for what they did in his country. He's written a book, and he tried to escape Vietnam many times, and when he finally did, he became part of the U.S. Navy. So without further ado, I'm going to turn the floor. It's got to go up? Okay. Without further ado, I'm going to let Dr. Hua speak.
Thank you. What a beautiful day. I'm honored to be here. My warrior, my Nam Knights, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to take you back to this night. It's about 34 years ago. That night was the darkest night of my life I ever remember. I was sitting in the room with several others and waiting for the right time to go to the boat. I waited and waited, and suddenly I heard the loud noise from the main door pushed open. I stood up and looked out my room. I saw the man with a long rifle in his hand. I immediately recognized that were Vietcong police. I turned to the back door and ran out the house as quickly as I could. The fear was tremendous. My breathing was so fast, my heart racing heavily. The panic was unbelievable. I was so scared because I know I would get shot, killed, or captured and sent to the deep jungle for the hard labor by the communists of Vietnam. My name is Dr. Du Hua, and I'm from Vietnam. I was born in the war zone, and I was born in the early 60s. I saw the terrible killings and destruction of the war when I was just a little boy. I witnessed the brutal acts of the communists throughout my childhood, almost every night. I heard the sound of the machine guns and explosions. The war had thrown the life of poor families into complete turmoil. My mother had to work so hard so our family could survive. The communists of North Vietnam have caused the killings and destruction that burn in my brain. They have no regard for peace and for the life of the poor families. Even though I was just a little boy. But I remember very well, during the New Year holiday celebrations of 1968, they took advantage of the people who were completely unaware, and they launched a massive attack against the people of South Vietnam. But the communists failed to realize that the people of the South were strong and brave. The South Vietnamese and the American officers stood up together, pushed back the barbaric demons. They decisively defeated the communists in the Tet Offensive, 1968. Please allow me to repeat this. The South Vietnamese and the American Armed Forces decisively defeated the Communists in the Tet Offensive, 1968. After deterring the Hill invasion from the north, the people of the South tried to resume their normal lives. However, the North Vietnam Communists continued their evil ambitions to take over the internationally recognized, free and independent sovereign nation of South Vietnam. The war went on. My family, just like many others, continued struggling with our life. Then came the darkest day. In April 1975, the North Vietnam Army launched a massive full-scale invasion of the South Vietnam with 200,000 troops that brought the collapse, the fall of Saigon, the tragic disaster, and the suffering to the South Vietnamese people. The South Vietnam have fallen into the hand of the communists. We lost our country. We lost our freedom. Consequently, the people had to accept their fate. We had to live under cruel oppression of the communists. I was just a young boy and I experienced the first very hard labor throughout my teen years. It was obvious there was no future here. And I knew I had to find a way to get out. Just like millions of desperate, frightened people who risked their life to escape the communist oppression. I knew I wanted to follow the path of my brother and sister had been fighting for, the path of freedom. I still remember so well how our men and women fought for freedom. My Vietnam veterans, I saw you there. You have been in my village, scouting and fighting the enemies. I saw you standing tall, heroically, with the South Vietnamese soldiers, defending us against the communists. I saw you helping the sick and the injured Vietnamese people. I saw you protecting my village and making me and all the children laugh. You brought freedom and security to my village. You are our angels. I know you were serving and fighting for your country, but you're also fighting for more than 25 million men and women and children of South Vietnam. Seeing you left my village, I've tried to follow your path, but the path didn't come easy for me. I tried to escape 11 times before my boat can make it out to the oceans. But the danger did not stop there. Our small boats were very crowded with desperate people. We sailed for 5 days and nights in the deep sea with strong winds and big waves. And this tiny, unworthy watercraft did not reach our destinations. We were lost. Food and water running out. Fuel almost gone. And worse storm was about to come. People on the boat knew they were facing imminent death. We began praying to God and asking God to take us to the heavens so our body would sink to the deepest ocean floor. My dear friends, there was almost 500,000 boat people lost their lives through the escapes in many different ways. Also, thousands of people got killed escaping by foot through the jungle of Laos and Cambodia. their desperate journey were full of great danger and horrors. Their little helpless boat were not just facing strong storm and big waves. They are also facing the worst nightmare of the Thai pirates, the animal cruelties. Pirates beaten, robbed, and raped the women in front of their family and their husbands. And in many cases, they were killed the entire hopeless people on board. I was so blessed and fortunate. In September 1982, I finally got an airplane ticket to come to the United States of America. This was one of the happy day of my life. I knew that I was about to reach my destination, the destination of freedom. People like us who have experienced the tyranny of the communism knew very well freedom is not free. My Vietnam veterans, thank you for showing me that you have so much humanity in your heart. And thank you for showing me what freedom is all about. I know I was blessed and lucky to have a place to escape to. That place called the United States of America. The last land on earth. But I'm not just coming here to follow you and say thank you. I came to tell you, in December of 1987, I was so proud and happy to become one of you. As soon as I have studied so hard and learned how to speak, read, and write English, I joined the United States Navy. My dream came true. I joined the United States Navy so that I could serve and give back my new great motherland. Yes, I was standing tall side by side with my fellow servicemen and women to help protect our beautiful and decent world of free enterprise and democracy. I was so proud and happy to serve my new country on the magnificent aircraft carrier CV-66 USS America. What a beautiful name! I have gone through the most struggles and seek for freedom. Then I fought to protect it. I realized that people should not take our precious freedom for granted. I therefore wrote the book, The Escapes and My Journey to Freedom. My dear friends, I wrote the book through my eyes. This is a story of life and death, good and evil, hardship and fortune. And the most important thing of all, this book will tell people freedom is not free. I would like people to understand the real faces of the communists of Vietnam. I also need to tell people the other side of the Vietnam War after the fall of Saigon. My Vietnam veterans, I showed you there and thank you. I couldn't thank you enough. More than 58,479 members of American Armed Forces and more than 300,000 of Vietnamese Armed Forces have paid their ultimate sacrifice in fighting for freedom of Vietnam. May God bless their souls. There were more than 662 American prisoners of war in the Vietnam War. How could you ever begin to imagine what our BOW go through with the barbaric community of Vietnam, the brutality of cruel, ruthless of communists, caused great pain pains and sufferings were far beyond any descriptions. My POWs, thank you for your service and sacrifice. There's almost 3,000 missing in action. Decades have passed, but I knew the agonies are still with their families. Today, I would like to thank to all those brave souls who ultimate sacrifice have made the world a better place for all humanity. To all of our Vietnam veterans and families, thank you. My dear Vietnam veterans, we know that you answer the call of our President Kennedy, who said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. These men and women were willing to sign up for their officers and delay pursuing their personal dreams. You have shown that you put your country first. Enjoy this noble cause. Our Vietnam veterans were the men and women of their times. You gave your energy, your faith, and your devotion to this endeavor, freedom for all. You understood the cause of freedom and fought for this noble cause in spite of these great dangers. My Vietnam veterans, the United States military never lost a battle during the war. The United States military definitely did not lose Vietnam. The United States military left Vietnam on the order of its politicians. The conquest of the South Vietnam by the North Vietnam turned our country into a nightmare for our people. The darkest day in our history resulted from the fall of Saigon, and thereafter the two horrific images at the fall were far beyond words. Millions of innocents had tried to flee their homeland and died by hundreds of thousands. I myself, just a young boy, had to escape 11 times. The wound and suffering are still with me until this day. President Ronald Reagan says, ending the conflict is not so simple. Calling it off and coming on, because the price for that kind of peace could be 1,000 years of darkness. It's so true. The whole country of Vietnam is now in darkness. The entire country of Vietnam is now in agonies. What kind of people of peace is without freedom? Peace, freedom, and liberty need to work together. Our president, Thomas Jefferson, said, when the people fear the government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. The fear of the people for Vietnam Communist regime is tremendous in the last several decades. My Vietnam veterans, thank you so much for everything you did for us. Please be proud that you step up and serve your country in fighting for more than 25 million men, women, and children of South Vietnam. My Vietnam veterans, thank you for letting me have this opportunity to speak with you today. But this is just my voice. This is the voice of the entire people of South Vietnam. You are as always our heroes. Please accept this grateful word from our heart and our souls. Thank you so much for your service and sacrifice in fighting for a moral and noble cause on our behalf. May God bless you. Thank you and welcome home. Thank you and welcome home.
Thank you. Wow. All right, we're gonna draw for the gun.
The blood spilled on the floor, and if another one stands, I'll kill some more. Bullet in the breach and a fire in me, like a cigarette thrown to gasoline. If death don't bring you fear, I swear you'll fear these marching feet. Come to the nightmare, come to me, deep down in the dark where the devil be. In the mall where the jaws and the razor teeth, where the brimstone burns and the angel weeps. Crawl to the gods if I cross your path, and my silhouette hangs like a body bag. Hope is a moment now long past, the shadow of death is the one I cast. I am